What's up, everybody? I am the Sports Judge. Welcome back. I've talked about how the NBA has been taken over by international players. The last 6 MVPs have been international. 4 of the 5 players on the first team All NBA were international. And likely, I think it would have been all 5 if Joel Embiid had not gotten hurt. And the best player in the NBA Finals was arguably an international player. I'm speaking of Luka, of course. And now, as the NBA draft is coming closer, it will be here on Wednesday. And with an international heavy class, the draft could see 3 of the top 4 projected draft picks who are internationally born get picked in the first round. Names that I can't even really pronounce. This year's NBA draft is dominated by the international prospects. Zachary Rizese, I don't know how you pronounce his name, is projected number 1 pick in the draft. It would be the second straight year a French player goes number 1 overall. Alex Sarr, also French, will likely be selected as the second pick by Washington. And we don't know how these guys are going to pan out. I'll be honest, I haven't seen their games. I watched highlights, and they're saying this Sarr kid is going to be a stud, that he's really, really good. Some are calling him the best player in this year's draft. I don't know. But what I do know is this. Here's another example of how the international players are taking over. I mean, you're looking at a pair of guys who can emerge into the faces of the league in terms of what we know about the 2 players who are likely to go 1 and 2 on Wednesday night. Basketball has become a global game, evidenced by the influx of international talent that has entered the NBA. So I think the word taking over is a bit of a stretch when there's a handful of international players you can point to. And I talked about this before. So it makes sense that more international players are playing and at a higher level. And you look at the college game, it's on its deathbed. You're watching freshmen and sophomore when they're still developing, not full-fledged stars just yet, and you rarely see them improving, particularly on defense. If you can shoot a 3, oh yeah, you're good. That's all you have to know how to do in today's game. Shoot 3s. AAU is destroying American talent. The modern day AAU has set American players back on fundamentals of the game. I finally started looking at some of these international prospects. I was looking at hoopshype.com, which is a great basketball website, by the way. Excellent content. They put together all the mock drafts, or most of them anyway. There were, I want to say, about 11 of them. ESPN, The Athletic, The Bleacher Report, The Ringer, Yahoo, CBS Sports, SB Nation, USA Today, Sports Illustrated, to name most of them. And looking at these 11 mock drafts, they created their own mock draft based on the ones they gathered from other mainstream media. The first 2 players are international players. 3 of the top 5 are international players, and 5 of the top 10 are international players. The reality is there's less homegrown talent now. There aren't any Americans in the running for number 1 pick because, again, like I said in prior videos relating to this one, the rest of the world has caught up. And part of the problem is AAU. And so now what you have are top-level players who come from overseas. The top players in the NBA now are foreign-born players. It's a special time for France, which could have the number 1 pick for a second straight season after Victor Wembanyama went to San Antonio last year and lived up to the hype in a rookie of the year season. Even with the talent that you do have in this year's class, this is the most unsettled draft since 2013, I would say. I mean, you really don't know how this year's draft will go. And maybe Nikola Topic, if I'm pronouncing his name right, the 6'6" guard, is the next Serbian breakout star with the name Nikola. Again, we're looking. This is a weak class, and especially when you get to the second round, then you're hearing names get called that you've never heard of. Like, we don't have that many American-born players, and the ones that we do have, we knew of them or have heard of them because two of them are coming from UConn, the team that won the national championship. One of them is a big man coming from Purdue, Zach Edey, who is also an international star. He's a native of Canada. So that's where we are when it comes to basketball, when it comes to the NBA. I think this draft is going to shock a lot of people. I do think, as weird as it is to say, this will be an interesting draft, even if it's boring and puts you to sleep. I believe this for a long time. I've believed this for a long time now. The NBA is an international game. You cannot watch the NBA today and not name at least 5 non-born American players. You just can't. You've seen a game that has evolved mainly because of what these international stars bring to the NBA. The Nuggets evolved with Jokic on the team. The Spurs evolved with international players over the years. Then all of a sudden other teams are saying, you know what? We need to go that route. We need to go with an international player. Why not? We need someone who is going to help us master the fundamentals. Those 3 teams I mentioned are very fundamentally sound basketball teams. Why? Because they have star players who come from other places where they put an emphasis on fundamentals and team play. That's the game it is now. That's just the reality. It's the current trend. So on Wednesday night, we will see more top-level international players entering the NBA. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the love and support that you guys give me. Thanks for being so kind and nice. And thank you guys for taking the time out of your day. None of this is possible without you. I want you guys to do me a huge favor, though. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for me. Thank you, guys. Hope to see you guys again soon.